Alrighty, friends. Let me pull this up here. Perfect. Okay. So welcome to week 4, our final full week of the Team BGL Work-Life Balance Challenge. After this week, we'll have a couple of bonus days just before the holiday party for BGL, where we'll have a couple I'll send out another video with a little bit more content and a couple of different items that we can work on for those last few days. But those days are just kind of bonus days and a little bit more for fun and a couple of added resources. But today we are talking all about filling your own cup. And there's certainly a lot of different ways to skin the cat with this one. So just a quick reminder that self-care is health care. So taking care of your needs and balancing that with the needs of others can be challenging, but it's important. And I think a lot of us in this group are very much givers and carers. And so our initial inclination is to, of course, take care of everyone else before we take care of ourselves. But just as the saying goes, you can't pour from an empty cup. So this presentation is all about kind of taking your healthcare into your own hands by first looking at your own self-care and filling your own cup in different ways in order for it to overflow and you to fill everyone else's cup in the process. So you got to replenish those stores, man. And the introverts in our life really teach this. Just because you're introverted doesn't mean that you're antisocial, but instead it means that you need to go within yourself in order to recharge your battery, as opposed to having external motivation to get your energy up. But even those that are extroverted still need to take time to recharge their own batteries and reflect and really focus on activities that are their own personal method of recharging. And every single person is going to be different with this. I have, of course, a couple of different tips and methods that everyone can use. But replenishing your stores, your different energy stores, and making sure that your batteries are full and your cup is full and all that good stuff, all those things that go, are super important in order to make sure that you're feeling fulfilled and you can show up to every activity, including your work, in the best version of yourself. So some typical cups that we want to fill, number 1 would be your mental energy. Number 2 is going to be your emotional energy. And then number 3 is going to be your physical energy. So different ways to recharge your mental energy would be doing something that makes you feel positive. So whether that's an activity that you're good at, or watching a video or listening to something that makes you feel positive, whatever that means for you, that will really give good filling to that mental energy. Turn what you're doing into something that you want to be doing. So sometimes this is a longer process than others. And I think a lot of us have experienced this just in coming to BGL and changing the careers that you're in. Sometimes you have to turn what you're doing into something that you actually want to be doing. And this may be a longer process than a shorter one, but it can certainly be something that recharges your mental energy. Practicing gratitude. And I know a lot of us have a regular practice with this. It's part of our 15 and 5 posts that we put up on the Slack channel every week. But practicing real, true gratitude, naming the things that you're grateful for on a daily or a weekly basis can help to recharge that mental energy battery. And then right in line with the work-life balance that we're all working towards is detaching yourself from work when you're not working, so that you can put all of your mental energy to work when you're working and then focus your mental energy on other things and recharging when you're not working. Emotional energy. And this can be similar, but it is a little bit different than mental energy. Really taking time to identify the things that are draining your emotional energy, whether that's a person or an activity or a place. It can come from a variety of different factors, but identifying and naming those things that are emotional drains are the first step to the third one, which is letting it go. But once you have some realization and some acknowledgement of the things that are draining your emotional energy, you are more equipped to go ahead and handle those things and to slowly go through the process of getting them out of your life, right? And carving out quiet time is really important too, really with yourself. And I know that this can be challenging, especially for parents that really probably feel like they don't get much quiet or alone time at all because they're taking care of little humans that can't take care of themselves. But whether that's tag teaming with your spouse or another family member or whatever it takes, any any amount of time greater than what you're already devoting is probably going to be beneficial to carving out some quiet time for yourself to reflect and really look inward. And then physical energy, and of course, this is my favorite one. Different ways to recharge your physical energy, not just to be physically active, but to recharge that physical battery, would be to cultivate good habits. So whether that's a morning routine or just daily habits that you have for yourself, having good, consistent habits can help to kind of fill that battery, because you're not draining so much energy by trying to do things that are outside of your norm. A lot of those good, healthy habits are normal to you. Therefore, it doesn't take as much of your physical energy to do that anymore. And of course, this takes time too, but there's no better time than the present to get started. Rest when you need to. And sometimes that means taking a day off of working out. Sometimes that means sleeping a little bit more, and prioritizing sleep is the next one there. Really taking time to have actual physical rest will help to recharge that physical energy battery. And that one flows into the mental and the emotional one as well. I know a lot of us don't function very well on little sleep, so prioritizing rest and sleep is really important. And then deep breathing. I know a favorite app of the team is the Othership app, and I've been working through that too. It's one of my intentions for this challenge to incorporate a little bit more breath work. But breathing deeply and working on breath work is one of the most underutilized but greatest hacks to increase that physical energy and recharge that battery. Okay, so some action items for this week. I want you guys to identify one daily self-care routine that you're going to establish. And you get 3 points per day for this one. It can be anything. And I'll start a thread on the Slack channel later in the week so that you guys can kind of write down and put to words some of those self-care tasks that you want to do if you'd like to. Morning ritual. This will be a weekly one for 3 points. I just want you guys to plan a morning ritual. I don't necessarily need you to complete it every single morning, but at least putting a pen to paper, really thinking and being intentional about that morning ritual is a good step in the right direction. And then, of course, our evergreen points that we have. So your 10,000 steps per day, your weekly video, and your point survey. As usual, let me know if you guys need anything, have any questions, and I'll catch y'all on the Slack channel.